From October 1914 to the end of the war in November 1918, the Ypres salient on the Western Front saw some of the bloodiest battles of the First World War. Located in West Flanders, Belgium, the salient was of important strategic significance due to its high ridge to the east and the Belgian coast to the north. In November 1914, German regiments captured the strategically important Whitesheet-Messines Ridge, the high ground between the villages of Whitesheet and Messines, a few miles south of the town of Ypres. Whitesheet and its surroundings were taken by regiments of the 6th Royal Bavarian Reserve Division, while Messines was taken by the German 26th Division from Württemberg. The capture of Whitesheet was a success that the soldiers of the 6th Bavarian Reserve Division paid for heavily. When it was thrown into battle, it had little or no combat experience, yet it was tasked to fight its way over unknown terrain, facing not only French, but also professional British troops. The fighting for the village ebbed back and forth, where repeated attacks and counter-attacks were launched and repelled in savage house-to-house fighting. Yet the Bavarians remained determined to take the village at all cost. It was a matter of pride, just as much as strategic necessity. When at one point the division was offered the support of a Prussian grenadier regiment, Bavarian commanders remained adamant that no such help was needed or accepted. On 2nd of November 1914, Whitesheet was finally in Bavarian hands, but the fighting would go on as French troops launched a series of local counterattacks on the village. By then the Bavarians were spent and exhausted. The 17th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment had suffered so badly that it had to be pulled out of the line, and finally Bavarian commanders grudgingly accepted the support of 2 regiments of Prussian grenadiers, which were thrown into battle to repel the French attackers and to stabilize the Bavarian hold of the village. Fighting for Whitesheet continued for weeks, and more blood was shed. Rarely was there time to bury the fallen in proper cemeteries behind the lines, and in many cases burial could only be realized weeks later. Hundreds of entries in the Bavarian military records confirm the chaos. Buried in a garden alongside the road. Killed on 1st November, buried on 22nd November. Buried in the garden at the mill in the southeast of the village. Buried in a field in the southwest. Buried in a shell crater. Buried in a mass grave in the north. Buried in the wood in the west.